at the Garden. We'll be here until 6 o'clock, getting you into some of our pregame festivities, and then, of course, the game here with Grandy and Max as they raise championship banner number 18. Mazz, Murray, how you guys doing?
Good. You?
Greg Bedard joins us via Zoom. Greg, are you there?
I am. How we doing, boys?
Good, big boy. How are you?
Oh, the big fella's here.
Greg is brought to you by Best Ford in Nashua. Looking for great deals on new Fords? Go to the Best first. Best Ford in Nashua on the web at thebestford.com. We'll take your calls with Greg at 617-779-0985. And we'll just use that cut there, Greg, to launch right into the conversation, which Chris Sims says, if you're a soft football team, that reflects on your coach. Do you agree that the softness of the team, the dysfunction of the team, reflects on the head coach?
100%. And we've sort of been talking about this for weeks, that I think this team is rudderless. I think that Jerod Mayo has not looked at this team with a critical eye. He has not rolled up his sleeves and really assessed his team and decided, like, all right, this is how we're going to play. This is how we're going to do things. But, you know, the bigger thing is, like, you cannot, as the head coach, go to the podium after a game and call your team soft, which is what he did. Because it does, you're indicting yourself. It's a reflection on you. If that's the way your team plays, if they can't run the ball, if they're getting run over in the run game, which this is not the first time it happened. It also happened against Miami, 7 straight times for a touchdown run, and then the coach gets up there and says, there's no question we're tough. And I come on this radio show on Tuesday and say, what game is he watching? And that he's not seeing what's wrong with this team, and he's in real time, let alone, forget about during a game, them actually addressing things during a game, but from week to week and saying, like, all right, we're not doing these things well. How are we going to win this game? And to me, it's just been a train wreck. And now he's run out of people to point fingers at. Now he's done it at the players. And now you are risking this season really going off the rails. If you thought Sunday was bad, and that was about the worst Patriots defensive film I think I've ever watched in my life, in terms of the players not knowing what to do, the coaches not giving them answers, like, things could go really, really downhill quickly.
The worst defensive tape you've ever seen of a Patriots defense, Greg, explain.
Mike, it was a joke. I can't tell you how many plays there were, and this is before the Jaguars started running on them in the second half, where I was just like, wait, this makes no sense. How come there's not a player in this gap? Where is this player going? You have players, Marte Mapu's blowing coverages all over the place. There's just open run gaps on the second level, like, all the time. None of it made any sense to me. And to me, it looked like a team that either the coaches didn't prepare right, they're not being coached well. They look completely unprepared for this game. I don't know if it was something about being in London and the trip, but it was infuriating to watch. I can only imagine the players, after Mayo made his comment, that they go back and watch the film and be like, you think we're soft? What the hell are you? You guys are incompetent. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You're putting us in this position. We got Christian Ellis running with this guy. We have this gap uncovered. And what are you guys doing about it? Nothing. So it's a complete dumpster fire, that team. And the defensive film is much worse than the offense at this point. And there's no way in hell I ever thought I would be saying that. It's a complete joke.
The big boy sounds insulted.
Yeah, no, it's good. Let's feed it. Let's feed into it, shall we? Try and give me another example that you would separate talent from the coaching on that side of the ball, Greg.
Well, on that side of the ball, look, we all know that. First of all, we knew that they were understaffed personnel-wise. With the injuries, you got Barmore, you got Bentley, you got Peppers. We understand. We also understand, and probably I'll admit I sort of didn't understand this at the time or didn't recognize it, but you let Lawrence Guy just walk out the door, and what did you replace him with? Really nothing. But that being said, okay, that's a personnel failing. That those are going on all over the place as well. But as a coaching staff, you need to, and this is where, Bill was really good when he was here. He would say, all right, we don't have X, Y, and Z. This is how we're going to win this game. This is how we're going to defend things. We're going we're going to put Godchow in this gap, and we're going to funnel the run into this gap. That's the only way we can do it because we don't have any other guys up there. How about adjusting? They're running on us, getting the goal line, run blitzes. Let's go to bear front. Let's go to zero. Let's go to zero, cover zero. We're throwing everything at the line. They are not running on us anymore. And none of that stuff is going on with this team, on this defense. It's going on both sides of the ball. That's where I put it on the head coach because I don't know what he's doing. I mean, to me, it looks like he's taking the scenic route on all of this and not getting his rolling up his sleeves. He's just contracting out everything on this team, and he wonders all of a sudden you get to week 7 and everything's failing on this team. Why? Because you weren't on the details. You're not providing any answers. You're not providing any leadership to a coaching staff that's obviously in over their head. That's why you need a strong head coach who knows what they're doing, who knows the secret sauce of what Bill did here for so many years in terms of getting this team ready for each individual game. That's just been a complete failure.
Greg, so you're saying they didn't make any adjustment to being run on? They didn't bring guys down? They didn't, any of those things that you mentioned, but anything at all to adjust to getting gashed up the middle?
They tried some things, but, it was sort of like window dressing. They moved Godchow into a different gap, and now all of a sudden you have, what's his name, Jacqueline Roy or whatever his name is, 94, playing nose tackle, and he's getting shoved 5 yards back. Like, nothing that was working, nothing that was good. 17, 18 straight runs. There's nothing more emasculating in the game of football than that. And for that to happen in a professional football game is an organizational embarrassment.
Okay, Greg. So you've been on the coaching for a while. It's, well established. Do you have any sense, any guess how the organization feels about it? Are they concerned? Is this not what they bargained for? I'm convinced Mayo is back for a second year. I don't think Robert Kraft's going to do him dirty like that and blow him out. But, do you think any of these sort of bigger picture kind of ominous things are circling around down there?
I do. I think that, how do I put this? I think that there were some thoughts during the summer that there were questions going on around the building about whether this was the right thing for the program. There was some second thoughts about it. And that I'll tell you, it's my opinion from talking to people that I don't think Jerod Mayo is assured of a second season if this is a complete dumpster fire. Now, I don't think that's likely, but considering where we are in week 7, they are weeks away from even a bye week trying to reset. Not that that's going to do any good with this coaching staff. Everybody's probably just going to go on vacation and then come back and play out the string. But I think it would be wise for Jerod to get on top of things if that means him going into the defensive meeting room, taking over play calling, something. He needs, if this is the way the rest of the season is going to go, a lot of people are going to get fired.
Want to follow up on that, Mazz?
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were going to go. Sorry. I misinterpreted. So, Greg, when you say if it proceeds the way it proceeds, I was unclear on how you answered that at the beginning. If this continues to go the way it goes, you think it's more in play than not, or you don't think it's very much in play? That's a small chance that they would fire Mayo.
I forget how I phrased it before, but let me try this way. If this continues on, and look, it's getting worse by the week, and you have a coach who just went to the podium and called his players soft, and now you have Belichick, the deposed dictator, basically like asking for a mutiny to rise up with his comments and whistles that he's blowing for his guys, and it gets worse and worse every week. I do not think it's assured that Jerod Mayo is back for a second season, along with a lot of other people in that building. Like, the Crafts are not going to be embarrassed. And Sunday was embarrassing, and they still have 10 more games to go.
How about the way the players are carrying themselves off the field, Greg? Do you wrap that in as something as harmless as the tweeting that's going on and the social media stuff and some of the, again, the more serious stuff of the brushes with law enforcement. And again, various degrees of seriousness there. But, those sort of things, do we wrap that all into what's happening on the field?
How can you not? I mean, to me, and we warned about this early on, it's like, okay, fine, Jerod, you want to give them more freedom? Well, you better win because these guys ain't your friends. And they're going to turn on you, and they're going to turn on you quickly, especially if a coaching staff continues to look inept by the week, and they understand you're not putting them in position. But the off-field stuff to me factors into all of this. I mean, I understand it's week 7, and things can change. They could beat the Jets on Sunday, and things could turn around. We've said for weeks, man, they really need a win. And it didn't happen against the Dolphins. It didn't happen against the Jaguars. We'll see with the Jets. But where they are right now, I mean, this reminds me of like one of those out-of-control college football programs of the 80s. Now, look, it's not that bad. But, for the Patriots, for professional football, what's been going on in social media and guys getting arrested and run-ins with police, I mean, it looks a lack of institutional control, which I think in terms of what's going on the field and what's going on off the field, that's what it looks like, and that's the head coach.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.